What's up, y'all? Welcome back to No Table Talk. It's your boy, Otunba. It's been a minute. But it's all good. Let's get into it. Today, I want to talk about being kind. Being kind. First of all, I want to open with the fact that kindness, or the act of being kind, is solely deliberate. It's not something that tends to come naturally to us. It's something we decide to do. It's something we decide to portray. If anything, our natural proclivity is to be the opposite, especially when it comes to things inclining towards selfishness or towards self-centeredness. So that's the first thing I want to say. The act of being kind, the quality of being kind, is entirely deliberate. It's something that is a conscious effort that I'm aiming to encourage us and myself to imbibe and to run with. But in speaking on this topic of kindness, I want to highlight 3 key benefits to being kind. Out of the numerous benefits to being kind. And yeah, the benefits could kind of intermingle, but I want to highlight 3 key benefits to being kind. First benefit is it is actually good for you. Not only does it make you feel better, not only does it make you feel good, but it's actually proven to reduce stress. Yes, a lot of that links towards some of the chemical balances in our bodies and in our brains. But long and short of it is, it actually helps reduce stress. It actually helps reduce anxiety. Being kind. So it actually is good for you. It actually helps you. That's the first thing. The second key benefits that I want to highlight today about being kind or to being kind is that it promotes a sense of community and it prevents isolation or reduces isolation. I mean, even looking at our world around us, especially when we look at things on social media, we see certain actions that people take towards their fellow human beings, towards people around them. And some of those actions that are obviously void of kindness, you can see how they actively promote a certain level of segregation, if that makes sense. But even bringing it more towards our immediate environment, especially when it becomes more nuclear, especially when it becomes more intimate, like family, like friends, like just people around us, even if it's by proximity, maybe not by relationship, maybe even it's by proximity. When you're actually kind to people, when you actually approach people with the heart of kindness, with an attitude of kindness, it reduces the feeling of pushing them away. It reduces the feeling of them not feeling part of a community, them not feeling part of the greater. I don't want to say greater good, but just of the collective group. That's the phrase I'm looking for. It reduces them not feeling part of the collective group. Even looking at family, looking at friends, how we react to things, how we approach things, especially when it's us approaching things from a place of us feeling slighted. Or from a place of us feeling, or from a place of us giving criticism. That specifically. When we approach situations with kindness, we communicate a sense of belonging. Looking at the dictionary definition of kindness, kindness is defined as being friendly, being generous, and being considerate. You see that last word? Considerate, consideration. That is you taking into account the other party's feelings, taking into account the other party's emotions, the other party's sometimes even past, sometimes experiences. You're allowing your reaction, you're allowing the way you're approaching things be surrounded in the context of them and not even you, not even your emotions, sometimes not even the message you're trying to pass across. You get what I'm saying? So just by that act of being considerate, you're making people feel among. You're making them feel like you actually have their best interest at heart. You're already cultivating an atmosphere where their interest is paramount, where the things that concern them are wholly considered, are wholly put into the context in which you're approaching the situation in. You get what I'm saying? So that's the second thing that kindness does. Kindness creates a sense of community. It makes people feel cared for. It makes people feel thought of. It makes, I mentioned criticism. It's even in that, when you're approaching people, it even helps you communicate your message better, and it helps your message be received better, because you've created an atmosphere where this person feels like you're approaching them because you want to help them. You're approaching them for their betterment, as opposed to them being degraded, as opposed to them just made to feel bad, as opposed to the entire point of your communication, or the entire point of your actions being to just highlight what is wrong with them. You know what I'm saying? Nobody really wants to just be around or be in situations or be in environments where they are labeled as bad, or labeled as lacking. You get what I'm saying? Especially if the situation increases in severity. You feel me? So that's the second key thing that kindness does. Kindness makes people feel among. It reduces how much people feel isolated. It reduces isolation. You get me? That's the second key thing. The third key thing, and to me, this is really the most important. I mean, they're all important, but this one takes the cake for me. The third key thing to being kind, going back to that word that I kind of landed on a few seconds ago, being consideration. The third thing is that it helps keep things in perspective. It helps keep things in perspective, in the right perspective. Let me put it that way. What do I mean by that? You see, living in the world, if we have the right outlook on the world we live in, on life in general, you start to realize that the world doesn't revolve around us. Even looking at the happenings around the world, like things that go on, things that happen, are solely independent of our actions, of our thoughts, or our feelings. Other things come to play. Other human beings come to play. Their emotions come to play. Their actions come to play. Their desires come to play. You get what I'm saying? When you're kind to people, when you consider them, it keeps you in the right perspective of what life really is, or how you should adequately approach life. Get what I'm saying? You consider other people. You don't fall into a place where you just think the world revolves around you. You don't judge matters just based on how you feel. You don't just let your feelings and your perception of things just inform your decision and inform your conclusions. Be it your conclusions on people's character, be it your conclusions on why people do certain things, people's actions, be it your conclusions on just the way people are in general. You get what I'm saying? When you're kind to people, it puts things in perspective. It helps you really see the world for what it really is. You get me? It helps you see the world as a world that is not about me, that is not about my feelings. It's not about just what I do. The world isn't just there to serve me. The world isn't there to either please me or satisfy my urges or satisfy my standards of satisfaction. Tautology. But the world isn't there just to revolve around me. The world is full of people that have their own lives, that have their own emotions, have their own feelings, have had their own experiences, the experiences that could inform who they are character-wise, could inform their actions. It could be anything. But just you taking that deliberate effort to not just wallow in your feelings, and not just allow your feelings and your thinking and your general worldview just influence how you approach things and approach people and approach situations. When you take into context other individuals, feelings, emotions, thoughts, experiences, it helps you see things in the right perspective. You get me? And especially when this becomes a more conscious effort, it starts to become effortless. You even tend to give people more grace. You tend to even care more for people, especially the people that are around you, the people that are close to you, be it family, friends, colleagues, whatever it is, partners, spouses, whatever it is. It even helps you be a better person for them. The same way sometimes, like I said before, our human proclivities could just be hinged on selfishness and could just be hinged on me, and please me, and what I want and what makes me happy. Making a deliberate effort to then consider things outside of you. You get what I'm saying? Down the line, it becomes more effortless. Your general approach to things wouldn't just be from a place of selfishness. Your general approach to things would be from a place of what would make this situation better. Even if I'm trying to communicate this thing, or I'm trying to communicate a certain thing, how do I address this that actually makes it better? Is just me communicating my thoughts the aim? Or is the aim to communicate my thoughts to achieve productive results, to achieve desired results, to even make the atmosphere conducive, to even want us to even still be around each other? You get what I'm saying? But yeah, kindness helps us see things in the right perspective. So I'm going to go over my points again. First point I said, kindness is actually good for you. When you're kind, you feel better. You feel less stressed. You feel less anxious. You feel more at ease. You get me? You know what? I even think that you even create an environment around yourself to where life starts to be kind to you. You get me? Because that's your approach to things, you then tend to even subconsciously attract kindness because your general spirit seeks out kindness because that's what you're given. You get what I'm saying? Second point, kindness creates a sense of community. Kindness prevents or reduces isolation. You see, especially talking from experience, people have treated me in certain ways that just makes me just want to be in my shell. That just makes me want to retract, just be in my space. I start to make conscious decisions to be on my own. Start to make conscious decisions to avoid people. Why? Not because I hate them, not because I don't like them, but just because they're not kind. Because they're not kind in their actions, I don't feel like the words they say to me, the things they do to me, were from a place of consideration of my feelings, of my emotions, which in turn doesn't even make whatever they're saying or whatever their actions towards me feel like it's for my betterment. If anything, I just feel attacked. I feel bothered. I just want to not be here. You get what I'm saying? Because nobody wants to be around what doesn't feel good for them. You feel me? Nobody wants to be around pain. Nobody wants to be around malice. Or don't I'm saying around malice. Nobody wants to be around an environment where the intentions towards you are malicious or feel malicious. You get me? So it promotes a sense of community. It reduces isolation. And the third point, what really took the cake for me, is that it helps you see things in the right perspective. You approach life better. You approach life differently. You approach life in what it is in how it's supposed to be approached as. Is that you approach life as a concept that is not just about me. It factors in other people. It factors in other people's desires, emotions, feelings, actions, thoughts. You get what I'm saying? Things that happen around the world that are independent of my control, independent of my actions, my feelings, independent of what I want, whether I like it or not. They're happening. The world is revolving. So that's it. Let's be kind, y'all. Let's be kind. Let's be kind to one another. Let's approach ourselves with kindness. Approach situations with kindness. But yeah, appreciate y'all. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching another episode. And see you in the next one. And hope you learned something. Hope this blessed you in some way. But appreciate y'all, man. As always. And see you. Bye.
Sit back, relax, and chill. Grab a glass of wine or a cup of tea, 'cause you're listening to No Table Talk.